Okay, so today we are going to create a survey. So can you please open that YAML, please, the one which we had created that day? Yeah, in the notepad also you can open this. Yes, okay. No, that's fine. That notepad. Yes. So this is the deployment which we had created. Now to access the application running inside the pod, we cannot use an IP address of the pod, which we already had discussed about, right? That pod IP address keep changing. I mean, if a pod goes down and in place of it Kubernetes starts a new one, then definitely it gets a new IP address, right? Now we cannot rely on the IP address of the pod, so we need a service here. So service is an entity through which we can communicate to the pod and basically to the application which runs inside the pod. Now I'll share one again a YAML, just a second, I'm sharing one YAML now, which is going to be the representation of the service. So I'm just copying and I'm just putting it into the chat. So just correct. So do you see my chat? Okay, let's copy this and put it in a different notepad. Let's create a new notepad. Yes, let's put it here. Okay, it's very simple, pretty simple service. So you can see the kind is service here, line number 2, kind service. A metadata name is my-service, so we can give this a name as nginx service. So let's change it to nginx-service. Correct. Now selector, do you see that app Kubernetes name is my app, we have set there. Now can you go to the deployment YAML? Keep this open, but I mean, let's go to that deployment YAML there. Right, now here our app is web. Do you see that app selector match labels app web? Do you see that line number? I think no, not there, the one which is up there, the one which is still up there, the line number 4 or 5 something. Correct. So app is web, right? Our label is app web. Now let's go to the service. Let's go to the service and make it web. That my app, let's make it web, WEB, small. Correct. Now protocol TCP, that's fine. Port 80. Now target port, let's make the target port 80. Now let's understand what is this. Now this label web. So the meaning is whatever the request will come to this service, that request would be forwarded to the pod having the same label mentioned here in this selector. So it says that check the pods which are out there and forward the requests to the pod which has a name, this app label set to web. So this selector, so let's make this, let's delete this a name here and let's make it app. So Rameshri, just remove that app.kubernetes.io/name. Let's remove this and replace it with app. Correct. So what we are saying is now let's go to the deployment once so that I can tell you the relation between this. So in the deployment we have the label set as app web. So label app is a label which we are setting it to value web. Okay. Now go to the service. So what we are doing is, so we are telling that same selector we have set it here, and what we are saying is whatever the requests will come to this service, send those to the pod which has the app web. Now what is this port and target port, okay, which are the last and second last lines? So the request coming to the port 80 of this service, send it to the pods port 80. So if your application is running on port 80, okay, so whatever the request will come to the service, that service should forward that request to the port on which your application is running. So in our case, our application Nginx server, it's running on port 80. Okay, now I am going to give you just a second, one service type. Okay, just a second, I am just checking something. Good. Now I am giving you this type of survey type. Just a second. Type. Spec type. Okay. Now can you just create one more line in this file, service YAML file? Just create one more line at the end. Yes, what happened?
Like what you wanted to put?
Yeah, just take that cursor in the line where that port starts. No, the ports. Correct. Type there, type TYPE colon space and mention there, I am sending you now. Now what you need to mention is load balancer is what you need to mention, but I am just sending you, yes, just a second, I am sending you the exact text. Yeah, I have sent you the text in the chat. Correct. Now save this. No, let's not save this. Sorry, let's not save this. Let's go to the EC2 instance where we have the kubectl. Correct. Now just to clear here, let's clear the screen what we see right now. Okay, let's do ls space -lrt there. Correct. Now let's create one more file. We already have created Nginx YAML, right? Now let's create another YAML. Let's do nano space Nginx service, Nginx service. Let's give the name Nginx service. No, let's not give space. Space should not be there. Okay. Dash is fine. Yeah, dash is fine. But if it is space between Nginx and service, then it should not be there.
No, I did not put any space. It is just Nginx-service.
Okay. .yaml. Enter. Correct. Now let's copy the content of that service and put it here. Yes, let's copy. So, right click, paste. Yes, let's do Control X, Y, enter. Correct. Now let's create a service now. Now how to do that? kubectl apply.
I have one query before that, Pranave. So we are so now we wanted to configure this service, right?
Correct.
And that should be in accordance with the YAML which we have created here for the Nginx deployment. So here the app is web, and we have put it as web. So this load back, I mean, for what
I'll
is
tell you
this?
what this is. Yeah, definitely I'll tell you. But let's
Okay.
create a service first, then I'll tell you.
Okay. Yeah.
kubectl apply -f and then the name of the file nginx-service. .yaml. Enter. Correct. Service is created, right? Now let's do kubectl get svc. kubectl space get space svc. Enter. Okay, it is saying that pending. Okay, let's wait for some time. By the time, can you just go to the dashboard where you see the EC2 instances? Correct. Now just go to the search there. Search. Do you see the search? Not that one, the above one. Correct. Type there load balancer. Correct, the first option. Yes, let's go there. It's not created any load balancers. Okay. Just a second. Okay, can you go to that YAML again? Just a second. Type load balancer. Just hold on for a second. I'm just checking the spelling. Load balancer. Just hold on for a sec. Type just a minute. I'm just checking if we have done any small mistake. It's correct actually. Just a second. I'm just checking if we have done any silly mistake or what. type colon load balancer. It's correct. Okay, can you go there in that EC2 instance?
This B should be lowercase letter or uppercase?
No, it should be capital.
Okay.
That EC2 instance. Okay, just yeah. Let's go to the EC2 instance where we have executed kubectl. Okay, can you do kubectl get svc? Enter. It has not created any load balancer. It should have created one load balancer there, which will which will have the IP address to access this particular service from outside. Okay. Now can you go to that EC2 instance dashboard?
Yeah.
Dashboard, yes. Just refresh here. Refresh. Okay, just go to the instance where we have the kubectl. Yes. Let's run one command, kubectl delete -f. No, -f and then the name of the file. Nginx -service .yaml. Just a minute, place space nginx.yaml. nginx.yaml. Enter. Okay, let's do one by one. -f, sorry, up arrow, and let's do nginx YAML for service YAML, and then nginx YAML, up arrow, nginx.yaml. Correct. Now let's create the deployment first. kubectl apply. Let's create deployment nginx.yaml. Let's not run the service YAML right now. nginx.yaml. Yes. Okay. Now let's do up arrow and nginx service YAML. Apply. Now let's do kubectl get svc. Still pending, right? It should get the IP address, and that it will get once it would be able to create the sorry, load balancer. Okay, just a minute, let me check. Just hold on for a second, I'm just checking. Ah, sorry. I understood. Sorry. Okay, I understood. Sorry. I got the problem. Okay. Can you go to the cluster? I mean the EC2 instance where we have the cluster installed. Right. We have set up the cluster using microcades. Right. So load balancer will not be created in the EC2. I mean in the AWS. Sorry, by mistake. Okay. Can you just do if config here where we have the cluster? Sorry, I just recalled right now that we have created a cluster using microcades and we have not yet created a cluster using AEKS, which is a service to create a cluster. Currently we are using microcades here. Okay, if config, if config, it should be one word, not spaces. Enter. Okay, if config is not there, no problem, just hold on a second. What is the IP address of this machine? I just want to know the IP address of this machine. Instances, go inside that instance where we have the cluster and show me the private IP. No, go up. This private IPv4 address. Okay, can you just copy this private IPv4 address and put it in the notepad? I'll tell you now what we need to do. Put it somewhere on the notepad. Correct. Now go to the machine where we have the cluster. I got the problem now. Yes. Cluster where we have that. Clear. Let's clear the console. Now let's install one add-on. Microcade space enable meta LLB, META-LLB. Correct. Enter. Okay, you have to do sudo microcades enable meta LLB. Up arrow and just mention sudo. Correct. Now you have to give the IP address of this machine. Just a minute. Do we have the public IP for this machine? Like, can you go to that EC2 instance once? A public IP. Do you see a public IP? Yes. Copy this public IP. Copy the public IP. Yes. I can see. Copy the public IP. Okay, that is 54.173.112.158. Okay, what is that IP address exactly? No, don't select like that. No, just a minute. Don't select it like that. Do you see that public IPv4 address? No, just a minute. No.
Yeah.
Go there in the dashboard. Okay, do you see the public IPv4 address there? And do you see the copy button exactly? Just click there and paste it in the notepad.
Yeah.
Correct. Now this IP address we need to give there where we meta LLB we are enabling.
Okay.
Okay. Go to the EC2 instance. Okay, just paste the IP address. Don't hit the enter. Please don't hit the enter. Just paste the IP address.
Which one, public or private?
Public. Specify dash, give dash, and again the same IP address. Correct. Hit enter. Yeah, just let's wait for a second. Correct. Now let's go there, the another EC2 instance where we have the kubectl. Let's do kubectl get svc. Right, now do you see the IP address, external IP address which it has got 54.173? Do you see that?
Yes.
Now let's go to your browser, any other browser. Let's open any other browser and let's mention that IP address there. Yes, we have it here. Enter. Okay, what is the port of your service? Just give :80 there, :80. Rule. Okay, can you go to that EC2 instance? Let's go to the security group of this EC2 instance. Where is this EC2 instance security group? Correct. Now show me the security group here. Yes, let's go there. Now let's go there inside that security group. Show me the inbound rule. Okay, let's add one rule. Add, let's click on add. TCP, let's use 80 there in the port range. 80, yes. And let's mention the source as 0.0.0.0. Yes, correct. And let's save this rule. Let's save. Correct. Now let's go to the browser. No, the one where you have, yeah. Let's refresh this page. Still you are not able to access the service. Just a second. 54.173.112.115. Is this IP address correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just do :80. Can you go to that service once? I mean, sorry, that EC2 instance once, where we have the kubectl. Let's go to the EC2 where we have the kubectl. Yeah, okay. Just hold on for a second. 54.173.112.158 it is, right?
Yeah.
Just a minute. I'm also checking. 54.113. Can you tell me the IP address? 113 dot?
Yeah, sure.
50 dot
It's 54.173.112.158.
158.
Yeah.
Just a second. Just a minute, I'm just checking if the IP address is accessible or not. Connection failed, it is saying. Just a minute. 54, 173, 112, 158, right? Can you
Yes.
show me that EC2 instance again, please, where we have the cluster? No, not here. I just want to see the properties of that EC2 instance. Can you show me the public IP of this? Is there any DNS entry here? Public DNS name?
Yeah.
Can you give that to me? This DNS entry. Yes, just send it to me here in the chat. Okay, let's try to access it using this DNS. Port 80. Can you show me your security group? This security. Let's go inside this. No, I just want to check the inbound rule there. Yeah, just go there. Edit. Okay, let's change the type to TCP. No, not here. No. Just a second, not here. Second rule.
This one?
Yes, TCP. Let's make it TCP.
Custom TCP?
Yes. And 80, right? Port is 80. Correct. Now let's save this. Okay. Somehow that IP address we are not able to access.
Yeah.
Okay, now can you just go to the EC2 where we have the kubectl? Okay, let's do one thing. Kubectl, I'm telling you the command kubectl space describe space that name of the service nginx-service hit enter. Describe service. No, it should be describe service and then name of the service. Okay, up arrow, and just between that the two words just mention SVC or service. Okay, that's fine. Enter. Just hold on for a second. Endpoints are these two. Correct. 10.178. Correct. Just a minute. Just a minute. Let me get the charger. Just a second. Yes. Now, yeah. Just a minute. Do you see the endpoints there? Endpoints. Correct. Just copy that particular line and put it in the notepad.
Sure.
Correct. Now let's go to that instance again. And let's run one command, kubectl get pods.
What is it?
Get pods. Get space pods. No, just a minute. Pods, up arrow, and after that, -o, space wide, WIDE. Just we are checking which IP addresses these pods have got. Enter. Correct. Now, do you see those IP addresses 10.1.179? Those IP addresses, do you see those?
Yeah.
They are in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th column from left. IP addresses. 6th column.
Yes.
These ones. Correct. Now, just verify if these 3 IP addresses, what we see here, are there in that line which you just copied, that endpoint line.
Yeah, there. So we have it. Afterwards, we are having this colon 80, but we are having 78, 79, and 80.
80. Correct. So these 3 IP addresses are there, right, in the pod -o wide output.
Yes.
79, 78, 79, 80 is what we have here, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So it means the service is properly connected to the pod. So we just described the service. What we actually did is we just described the service just to check if that particular service is indeed connected to the pods of our Nginx. Okay, so it is connected. So whatever the traffic will come to this service, it would be given to these pods to serve. Okay, that's why I just checked it, nothing else. And port 80 is fine. Now let's do one more. kubectl logs. Let's check the logs of the pod now. kubectl logs. And just paste the name of one pod. The one which you see above now. Let's paste the name of one pod out of the 3. Let's paste the first name. Yeah, let's paste it after this logs. I want to see if the server is running or not. Enter. Okay, just a second. Which port the server is running on? Do we see anything here? The port on which the server is listening to? Default on. I IPv6, just a second, I'm just checking. We don't see the port, right? Just a minute, let me check the NGINX default port. Okay, it's 80. By default, it listens on port 80. Okay, so we are good there also. Can you show me the service, the YAML of the service once?
Yeah.
What is the target port we mentioned? 80, right?
Yes.
So outer port is 80, target port is also 80. So we are fine here. I think there is some problem in connecting to your EC2 instance. Okay, just a minute. Your EC2 instance, right? So we are able to connect to, okay, I understood. We are able to connect to port 22, but we are not able to connect to port 80. Actually, I just checked it here to telnet, but that 80 we are not able to connect somehow to your EC2 instance. So I think there is some issue with the security group, but security group looks good there. Can you just show me the security group one more? Yeah, here, just a minute. Correct, it looks good. There is no issue. 80, right? Custom TCP 80 and 000. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, I don't see any problem here, but still we are not able to connect to the port 80 from outside. We are able to connect to the port 22 from outside. Even 16443 also, let me check. 16443. Yeah, we are also able to connect to 16443 from outside. Simply 80 port we are not able to connect. Yeah, do you see 16443 you are able to connect?
Yeah.
But that 80 port we are not able to somehow. Looks like there is some issue with the inbound rule. Looks like, but it looks good also. I am not sure what is the problem, but okay, we will nail it down. That's not a problem. But just a second. 6, 3. Yeah, we are able to connect to this. Yes, 16443 we are able to, but 80 we are somehow not able to connect to. What could be the problem? But we do have the
I'm not able to connect to 80 and 22 both.
no 22 you cannot connect from browser. That is SSH port, right? Just
But
go to CMD. I'll tell you. Just go to, or
but
let's
80
go to the
also I'm not
CMD.
able to connect.
Sorry.
But 80 also I'm not able to
Yeah,
connect.
80 is the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
80 is the port. That is the problem. That's what I'm saying. 80 we are not able to connect. I'm able to connect to 22. There is no problem with the 22. There is no also problem with 16443. Problem is with the 80 port, that which we want to connect to actually. Okay, not a problem. We will see this problem. What is the exact issue here? But the ultimate point is that once you will connect to that service, the IP address, okay, on port 80, so that request will go to the service, Now service knows which pod to forward the requests to. So it will forward the request to those pods, and ultimately you will be able to access your application. This is the entire understanding of the service, right?
Yeah.